I'd like to start this meditation by making yourselves comfortable, whether you're sitting or laying down. Take a few deep breaths and relax. Remind yourself why you meditate and set your intention to have a peaceful mind that won't be thinking about work, won't be thinking about any other problems, anything else that's going on. All those things will still be there when you finish this meditation. This 20 minutes or so is for you. So just relax and enjoy it. You deserve it. You deserve the time for you. I want you to close your eyes and visualize that you're laying down on some grass looking up at the sky. It's about midday. It's a bright, hot day. And as you sit up, you see that in front of you there is a jungle. It's a very familiar jungle. You know this jungle is your home. As you look down, you realize that you have bare feet. You look up at the jungle and you start to move towards it very, very purposefully, very quickly and very elegantly. You start to move into a jog and then a run. And you realize that this is your environment, this is your home. You move so quickly and with ease through the jungle. You step over broken branches, fallen leaves. You hear the sounds around you and you look up to see the sun breaking through the canopy of the trees. As you're running along, you come across a riverbank. And you see a movement on that riverbank. And it slows you down. So you start to stalk very slowly, very purposefully, up to where you saw the movement. And then you spot it, about 4 feet from the riverbank. There's a snake, basking in the sun. As it sees you, it decides that it's going to make its way away from you, not quite sure about you. And as you look into the snake's eyes, the snake turns off and starts to slither towards the water, and you become the snake. You feel yourself moving very quickly as your body coils around undergrowth as you make your way towards the river. Then as you dip your head over the edge of the bank and look into the water, you see yourself. And then you drop into the water, so elegantly. You're surprised at the ease in which you move under the water, your body arcing through the water. You become aware of the life around you in the water. You're aware of everything. And you make your way slowly through the water until you reach the other bank, where you pull yourself out. And again, once more, you start to make your way through the undergrowth. You're aware of other animals around you. Very single-minded as a snake. These animals are safe today because you've eaten. You're not hungry, but you're still aware of all their movements, the heat from their bodies. Your senses are so sharp, so primal, you're a survivor. As you make your way, winding through the undergrowth, you catch your skin on a log, and you realise that your skin starts to come away. This has happened before, and it's a glorious time. You realise that you're going to shed your skin. You start to rub your body against this log, and then you wrap a loop of your body around your head, and you drag it along the rest of your scales, slowly pulling away the old skin, shedding the old skin, and revealing the new you. It's a wonderful feeling. It's a fresh start. Slowly but surely, you remove yourself from your old skin and you start to move forwards. But you've been distracted. You suddenly become aware that you're being watched. And as you raise your head up out of the grass to see what's watching you, you catch sight of it. There's a jaguar staring at you, watching you, and watching you as you've been writhing against that log removing your skin. But you don't worry, you know this isn't a predator of yours. You look into the jaguar's eyes, the jaguar looks into yours, and then you turn away as the jaguar and run. You run into the forest. If you thought that you were carefully footed as a person, you were nothing compared to that of the jaguar. The elegance and grace as you move silently through the woodland, leaping onto fallen trees, you feel your claws dig into the bark. You look up in the treetops. You hear other animals making warning sounds of your presence. You're the king around these parts. You run with freedom, the wind rustling against your skin. It feels so alive. You make your way slowly through the forests and downstream this river. And you start to hear a noise. What is this noise? It's so loud. So loud. You see the jungle's ending in front of you and it's coming to a clearing. You very slowly make your way out into this clearing. You see the most beautiful waterfall cascading down the cliff tops and splashing on the rocks at the bottom. Where it hits the rocks, it makes a spray of fine mist, and as the sun reflects through that mist, a rainbow is formed in the droplets, and this rainbow captivates you. You walk very slowly and very purposefully up to the edge of this waterfall. You stand at the base of the waterfall with the mist and the rainbow in front of you. As you bow your head, you walk purposefully, foot by foot, step by step, into this mist, into the rainbow, and you make your way from one bank to the centre, where you stand on the rocks with this most beautiful light surrounding you, all the colours of the rainbow, and the water refreshing your skin. It's so cool on a hot summer's day, so fresh, it feels wonderful, absolutely pure. You feel humbled. And then, again, you make your way through the rainbow to the other bank of the river, where you come to a rest in awe of the beauty around you. You feel the sun on your back, and you sprawl out beside this river, allowing the sun to dry your skin. You just lay there in absolute, perfect peace. As you lay there in bliss with the sun beating down upon you, watching the birds coming to and fro in the treetops, listening to the sounds, you roll around a little and you see a butterfly making its way down towards you. You watch it gracefully, then you realise it seems a bit too large to be a butterfly. As this little animal makes its way down towards you, flying, you realise this is not a butterfly, this is a hummingbird. And as you lay there in the sun, a hummingbird comes right down to about a foot away from your nose. It's fluttering there, looking at you very curiously. As you look back into the eyes of the hummingbird, you fly away. As you become the hummingbird, you start to flitter higher and higher above the jaguar, and then you turn your attention to the plants around you. You realise that the trees are tall and solid. They've been here a long time. And there are flowers everywhere. Flowers of all sizes and all colours. Some of them on the banks of the river, some of them in the trees, some of them are underneath the canopy of the forest. All colours, all scents, on all sizes. As you start to fly effortlessly, just hovering, your wings move so fast. You're going to be drawn to one flower particularly. And you're going to make your way over to that flower. And that flower's colour and that flower's nectar is just right for you. And you will stay there. You'll hover and you'll drink the nectar, the perfect nutrient from this flower. And this is what you need at this time in your life. This is the absolute perfect healing energy for you. You drink in abundance, for these flowers are rich, they are healthy, they are vibrant, fed by this river. It's a perfect place. As you drink deep and deeper, you drink this nectar until you've had your fill. And you feel amazing, energized, like you've never felt before, absolutely, perfectly balanced, alert, not tired in the slightest. And you start to fly slightly higher and higher towards the treetops, and then a shadow crosses over you. As you glance to see what the shadow was, you see a great bird flying overhead, very, very high. You can't quite make out what sort of bird it is because it's so high. And as you look at it, you find yourself looking down upon yourself through the eyes of an eagle. These eyes that can zoom so far, see detail at distance. He's been watching you. He's been watching you drinking from the flower. This eagle, in fact, watched you as you flew close to the jaws of the jaguar. This eagle saw the jaguar cross the river through the rainbow of light. This eagle saw the jaguar watch the snake, and saw the snake lose its skin, and saw the snake flee from the person. This eagle sees everything from on high. He has a different perspective on life. The eagle understands the nature, the cycle of life, the interdependence of all the animals of the forest. Because from up high, this eagle sees everything. It sees the river be born, it sees the river end, it sees it meander its way through the forest, it sees it feed the forest and the animals as they feed each other. This eagle moves so gracefully above, seeing every detail of every action below it. You feel very wise, very privileged to have this view. You're a caretaker of these lands. You've been here a long, long time. As you soar above the forests, above the canopy, you feel the currents and the thermals lifting you. And with minimum effort, you use these to your advantage. Wise thing that you are. Gliding, higher or lower, however it takes your fancy. And then, a gust of wind just passes you a bit firmer than before, knocking a feather loose from your wing. And this feather floats. And you look at this feather that's left your wing floating down towards the floor. And then you become the feather. You just float, with no control. You just float on the winds, blowing above the canopy, above the treetops. You can't do anything wrong here. You're just floating in the wind. No consequences as you blow and float closer and closer to the treetops. Then you float over the edge of the forest. And you start to float back and forth, just rocking now as the wind is quite still, as the trees are sheltering. And this feather just rocks back and forth as it slowly makes its way down towards the earth. And then as you're about a foot off the floor, you just rock back and forth, back and forth, and you come to rest at the floor, just beside a pair of feet. And there you are at the start of your journey, looking at the forest. You look down, you see the feather. You reach down, you pick the feather up. You tuck it in your headdress, or you may put it in your pocket, behind your ear, or you may just hold it. This is your journey, so whatever action you took is the correct one. And you look up now, and you see that the night is starting to draw in. The sun is going down. You know it's time to go home. It's not time to go into the forest now. So you turn around, and you start making your way home. You walk across the fields, across the meadows, remembering the journey that you just had, holding the feather. And then the sun starts to set behind the hills, and the stars come out one by one. Now, these animals had wonders, the stars have even more. So much to look at, so much to think about. Your ancestors had looked up at the same stars, generation upon generation since time began. And as you make your way back to the camp where you live, looking up at the stars, you have a great story to tell, or a great deal to think about. And as you come down to where you live, to where your people have a camp, you see that they've made a fire. And as you draw close to the camp, you'll be welcomed. There may be one other person, there may be two or three. There may be one person that leaves and lets you sit by the fire by yourself. Again, this is for you. They welcome you with open arms. They love you very, very much. These are your people, your family. And they gesture for you to sit by the fire with them, and to either tell them about your day, or they might tell you about their day. You might have some insight, or you may just decide to gaze into the fire as it burns. I'm going to leave you for a few minutes. Just enjoy sitting around the fire with loved ones, with your own thoughts. Someone may give you a gift, a cryptic gift, something that will give you a clue as to which path to take, or to offer you direction. Someone may give you a hug. You may eat, you may enjoy food with a tribe. You're free to do whatever you please. And now, the night sky above you and the fire dying down. The people around you will bid you good night. Now make their way off to their huts or teepees, or they may just curl up by the fire. And you will do the same. You just lay back down on the grass behind where you're sat, looking up at the night sky. Take a few deep breaths, and when you're ready, return to the room.